Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
Yes, sir. And this is Joe.
How are you, Joe?
I'm good, sir.
Good.
Welcome to 2020.
Well, 2020 is here, dude. It's amazing.
Yes. Or pre-recording.
Yeah, we are. Joe and I are having some fun with that because it's still 2019 when we're laying this down. It's December 30th right now. It's a cold, wet, rainy, miserable Monday here.
It could not be hotter or not.
Really?
It is. I mean, I don't want to, I'm honestly going to guess.
No, tell us, because it's like 40. It's one of those, it's just a gross day here. It's 40 degrees. It's this 72 and sunny. God damn, I gotta get
now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, man. This is rare for the 30th day of December to be 72 degrees and sunny.
That's crazy.
It's bananas. Like, I had the sunroof open. I took this guy to the airport today. Like, it's crazy.
It's funny you just said it's bananas. I got a request for it's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A.
I have not played that in forever.
I hadn't played it in forever. It went over so well that I moved it into my party playlist.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Which is actually, we're going to be talking about music.
Yeah, we are.
Today.
Yes,
so
we are.
That was an unintended smooth segue.
That was smooth. Let's get into it then.
Yeah,
man.
so Joe, a couple weeks ago now, we had Nate Nelson on the podcast, which was a great podcast. If you didn't listen to that, Nate basically put his top 40 together and compared it to ours. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. In that, you told a story, episode, you told a story about an upcoming or I guess at that point it was a past holiday party that you had just done.
Yep.
In case our listeners missed it or it's been a month since you did it, they might have forgotten. Tell us that story again. And then I have, because you shared it, you promised you wouldn't. You did. You lived up to your promise. I have your playlist and I have multiple questions about this playlist.
Sure.
So first, get to your story.
The story was I was doing a holiday party for Epic Games, which is, if you have kids or you're a gamer, they make the biggest video game in the world right now, which is called Fortnite. And they had been through a series of DJs leading up to this party and not been happy.
But never your company.
Not my company. Never my company. Right. Even brought in a DJ from LA last year, so on and so forth. And so they were worried, and then they got me worried. And the call I had leading into this event,
share the one comment that got you really worried, because I think it's brilliant that this concerned you.
It shook me to my core. The conference call about 5 days before the event was, hey, and I was like, hey, and what do you guys want to hear? Whatever, all the logistics first, time, where I'm set up, what are we wearing, and let's talk about the music. And the girl goes, if I hear that song, Apple Bottom Jeans, I'm going to kill somebody. And I was like, uh-oh.
And so to be clear, we're talking about
Flow Ride, right? But nobody calls it the right name.
It's so funny how people call songs by either
by the chorus.
Either the first line, because I've had people say, hey, do you have Elvis Wise Men Say? And you're like, wise? Oh, can't I fall in love? Apple Bottom Jeans isn't even in the Apple Bottom Jeans.
It's the chorus.
So she said, if I hear that song, what?
I'll kill somebody.
I was
like, oh, snap.
Which reminds me, that must be a Raleigh thing, because that's how you talk all the time. I think you've said to me, if you do that, I'll knife you or something like that. I'm like, stab you. God, that's so violent.
Violent.
But so she said, if she hears Apple Bottom Jeans, she's going to kill somebody.
And I literally out loud,
and that somebody would probably be you. Let's face it, right?
100%. I'm procuring the song.
Right.
And I was like, I just fully admitted, I was like, I would have definitely played that. And she was like, I'm just tired of old stuff. And I was like, yikes, and I kind of scrambled. I think.
How old is low? Is it
2010 maybe?
Yeah.
So let's just say 10 years. And I was like, okay, well, in the history of music, it's not old, but I guess relatively, it's old. So then I start running through what else I would have played that would be considered old, Usher, and this, that, and the other. And I'm legitimately shook. And so I made some phone calls to, Brian Bonacisi and Dave Lander, who I knew did a lot of different types of parties and could possibly help. And they both steered me along the right path. And I think at the end of the day, the most poignant comment that was given to me was by Digital Dave. And he said, if the aunt of the bride would have come up to you and requested a song at the wedding, don't play it.
Don't play it.
Right.
Right.
Don't. And I was like, that is pretty spot on. Now, did a couple sneak its way into that list?
Well, good. I'm glad you're admitting that, because I have a few on here that I'm going to ask you about.
Yeah.
That to me, like if apple bottom jeans, and I don't know whether she thought that was too old or too cliche or too whatever,
not cool.
But then how do you play with the wobble? Which is on your list.
I'm actually thinking, did I cue it or play it?
Oh, so this list might be songs that you queued but didn't play. Oh, well, and that probably solves some of the dilemma, because you have some repeats on this list.
Yeah. I didn't clean the list, so sometimes I load something, I'll listen to it a few times, I'll look at the vibe. I don't think I actually played it, Mike. I would strike that from the record.
Oh, okay. So then I'm not seeing it. So for example, the first song on here is Crazy in Love.
Yes, I definitely opened with that.
But then the 12th song on here is Crazy in Love. So did you play it twice?
No, I definitely didn't bring that back. I don't know why I did that.
Okay. Do you do that from time to time? Play a song twice?
No. The only time that I did it last night. The only time I ever bring a song back was that last night they wanted to come in to Can't Stop the Feeling. And so,
you mean so you introduced the bridal party? Yeah. That doesn't count. Yeah, I've done the same thing.
Yeah, no, I don't play songs twice. Even when I was playing at bars, and I remember when Gold Digger by Kanye was so big, that would be one of the only things I would bring it out like at 10 and then back at like 1.
Right.
Or something like that. But
some audience participate. I remember the year Macarena was big.
I
played the Macarena twice at a lot of events. I even remember some events playing it 3 times. Like pre-dinner, after dinner, and then in the last 20 minutes. Can we do Macarena again? And I'm like, really? But yeah, I mean, if it's going to pack the dance floor, what do I care?
Right.
All right. So for example, you have a combination on here. Mm-hmm. You have All the Small Things into What's My Age Again.
Oh yeah.
Into All the Small Things into Mr. Brightside into What's My Age Again.
I picked one. I went What's My Age Again into Brightside. So I kept going back and forth. So my brain was like, which one of these?
Up on that, I got it.
I was going back and forth, and I kept going, which is like gonna.
Because I wrote down on him here, like, what did you make a medley out of?
No.
Or?
I was popping back and forth like in my headphones, going, which is gonna go over better.
Okay.
And I think I went with What's My Age Again into Brightside.
So you didn't feel like Wannabe and Everybody was too cliche?
It was so quick. Like, I don't know if it shows the times on there. So
no, it doesn't.
I went from really maybe verse chorus of Backstreet, and then it goes into that point where it goes, and then I go, yo, tell you what I want. And then I maybe played like a minute of that. Okay. And then I don't remember what came after that.
See, because to me, that's
I know.
Cheese is in the eye of the beholder, or
I know
the ear
it,
of the
but I had already.
if Low is too cheesy,
right?
But as you said, your feedback was they loved you, and you're going to be back next.
I've already booked it.
So this combination worked. But if I was afraid to play Low, I don't think you did Old Town Road.
Here's what happened, Mike. I would say at about the 3. So it was a 3.5 hour dance.
Wow,
bash.
That's daunting.
Right. At the 60-some minute mark, my like heebie-jeebies, my nerves had kind of like shaken off, and I realized that I could have played, me speaking the phone book into the mic,
because it was that good of a game.
That I had just that the vibe and the room and the lighting and the sound and the people were just ready to throw down, and I could have played anything. So at that point, I kind of took some of my I never did play Low. I don't think you'll never see Low on there.
I didn't see Low on here. Smart.
As much as I wanted to, but
or you could have just bleeped out the apple bottom jeans part,
exactly.
As if it was a curse word.
Right. Anyway, so I guess at a certain point, Mike, I felt like I could take the reins off, and I saw her a few times, like she was living it, and like her kind of assistant was living it. You know what I mean? And I was like, I've got them. Like I think they were so worried up until about that 90-minute mark that I was going to be the guy from yesteryear that they had put these kind of restrictions on, or they thought I was just going to play it like straight up like a wedding DJ would have. And I
mean, this list is certainly not what you would play at a wedding. Some of the songs are.
Some are.
But some of the combinations are not. I've yet to play My Type. I don't think ever.
I'll tell you why it goes over here. Did I go into Freak a Leak after that or no?
My type in no.
Okay, so the reason it goes over here is because P.D. Pablo, who the sample for Sweetie or for My Type is Freak a Leak by P.D. Pablo.
Oh,
P.D. Pablo lives here,
it's big,
North Carolina, raised up. So it kind of went over, and I feel like she had given me a few songs that she wanted, the point of contact, and that was one of them, and I snuck it in real quick.
Right. So some of the you beat mixed all of this stuff.
I did. There may have been one or two that I dropped in heavy.
God damn, I wish you had recorded this.
I know.
I'd love to hear this back. So like you have a transition from Wannabe by Spice Girls into Juice by Lizzo, which is a 10 BPM jump.
Yeah.
And you just pitched up and pitched down and got that.
I did. Yeah. And it just sold. I'm sure the key is wrong, but it sold. Like I sold that.
Yeah, I've never gotten into what is it called? Harmonic mixing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Especially at a private event. Like I was just going. You also
have what I would call a half measure mix. You went from 158 BPMs into Raise Up by P.D. Pablo.
Yes.
Which is 78 BPM. So basically, did you mix on the half measure?
Yeah, I halved it. And that's how I got back because it was.
It's funny. I do that from time to time. I was doing my guy Tom also shoots video, right?
Yeah.
I was doing a wedding once, and I did a mix like that, and he turned around and he just he was videotaping. He turned around, and he shook his head like, "Don't do that," And I, ever since then, I've had it in my head like, is that wrong to do?
No,
right?
No, I like it. I like it because it's not so drastic. They have all these transition mixes, and you and I talked a little bit about right before we came on about the different record pools, and they have these transition mixes that'll go from 124 to 78, and I just didn't want to use that. I was like, oh, this is half tempo. I'm going in.
I mean, I do have tempo mixes like that all the time. I do have to say, I've started using more and more transition mixes, and I feel like I have to rein myself in because I might start overdoing it.
Right.
Like I'm constantly going from 100 to 140 back down to 98.
Right.
Like I gotta calm down, but I am loving the transition.
I am too. Yeah. I haven't gotten carried away on them, but I could see how you could. I'll tell you, Mike, one of the turning points, and it's somewhere on there. And I think it's a Scooter edit, and it came from Direct Music Service, and it went from it says something like 1,000 years. Vanessa Carlton.
I saw that. Yeah.
Dude, so let me tell you. So
what is that?
I'll send it to you in a minute, or I'll just you're a DMS member now. I'll send you the link so you can.
Yeah, I can just download it.
So it goes. It starts with that Lil Jon Out of Your Mind. So it's like it's like super heavy. It's like get out of your mind. Get out of your mind. And then it goes, let's fucking lose it. And I played the clean, obviously. And then it goes,
that's so weird.
And then it goes, making my way downtown. And dude, it sounded like a concert in that room. Wow. When it goes, let's fucking lose it. And when the sound drops out and it goes into that piano part on Vanessa Carlton, I'm telling you, I was like, I have got these people by the actual balls now.
Did you have that conversation? Did she want clean versions?
No, she didn't necessarily say it. I'm just
I think I would have had that once she had the conversation about don't play apple bottoms. I think I probably would have asked her. So do you want this to be like a nightclub? Can I play? Do you want me to play? Or like Nate told the story a month ago, like he actually was doing a corporate party and the woman came up and said, "Hey, do you have to play these clean versions?" Like she wanted to hear the curse words.
I think I could have gone there, Mike. I'll tell you
based on the feedback you're giving me, I think you could have.
And I'll tell you the one other moment where I was like, that I can't be stopped right now. Like I'm the king of the world. Like I almost ripped my shirt off and just ran out on the floor. There's that mix on there. It says Party in the USA, Britney loop.
Yeah.
So the end of it just keeps going. And a Britney song was on. And a Britney song was on. And then after it said that about 4 times, I dropped in that burn, burn, burn. For the beginning of Oops, I Did It Again. Dude. And literally I was like, I'll throw my computer in the fireplace at this point. Like I don't anything other than this is downhill. Like
that feeling is amazing. We talked last week's podcast basically a half hour ago, and you were talking about cutting back a little bit, and I think that feeling is why I have a hard time saying I'm going to cut back because
you missed it.
I don't.
You remember that year, whatever. Whatever
I
that year or so.
I did 20 something events, and I missed that, and you don't get that. Like when I show up here in the office, nobody chants my name and applauds, and nobody's high-fiving me when I walk in. It's not, you don't get that. I know I've shared this story, and I don't even know if it's true or not. I heard it, urban legend, but they asked Bob Hope late in his career, why don't you retire and go fishing? And he said, because the fish don't applaud.
Oh, man.
And I just think that there's that thing inside of performers that we just look at, and it fills up whatever kind of void. So
some void. Well, so Mike, let's pivot though, because there was something I saw. I guess it was a couple days ago, like maybe one of your last weddings of the year. So you're doing a wedding coming up New Year's, which is tomorrow. Yep. But you did one a couple 3 days ago, and you were like, that could have been one of the top 2019.
Yeah. It was Saturday night, December 28th. So by the time this podcast lands, it'll be 2.5 weeks ago. But as we're talking about it is just 2 nights ago, so it's really fresh in my mind. It's not the best wedding I ever did as far as dancing, the dance crowd, although it was close. I mean, these people were on the dance floor. It was packed the whole night. But as far as me, my mixing and programming calls, I just felt like I was never more in touch with the crowd. I felt like every call I made, whether it was their request, they didn't overwhelm me with requests, but they gave me a fair amount. So whether it was their request or me popping something in that I felt would work with this crowd, just every single call I made just felt like it was the best possible call at that time. Right. And I've had nearly that feeling leaving a wedding, but I don't think I've ever had that just, I was driving home from that gig going, that was your best performance ever, Walter.
I'm telling you, that's what's crazy about this, man. I said that, like, I literally looked at that kid that was with me that night at this Epic Games party, and I said, man, I think I just played the perfect set. Like, I literally,
and unlike you, I recorded most of it. So I have already, I think I mentioned this. I'm switching over from SoundCloud to Mixcloud because I've got
Find Mike on Mixcloud.
Yeah, so find me on Mixcloud, DJ Mike Walter. I just uploaded earlier today the opening set from that.
Nice.
And the opening set was where I really got ballsy. Run Around Sue and Let's Twist Again were on the bride's list. So I opened up with those coming out of the box.
Too easy.
That's standard. That's
me too.
I mean, I do that without them being on the bride and groom's request list, but the fact that they were easy. So then dance floor is packed beyond belief, and it's not just the older people, it's everyone. It's her crowd, which is 30-ish. And she had a couple of those alt rock requests. She had all the small things. She had Mr. Brightside. And I just said, I know it's early in the night. Maybe it's too early to try this.
Right.
Go for it. And I beat mixed, and it came out pretty good. And you can listen to it on my Mixcloud from Let's Twist Again into all the small things.
Wow.
And the crowd, like you just said, the crowd erupted. And I was like, now I'm off. I felt like a surfer catching a good wave. Right. And I went from there into Mr. Brightside. And then I forget exactly where I went, but high energy stuff. And then I used a transit. She wanted the Chainsmokers close to you.
Yeah, closer.
Closer. Yeah. And I have a transition mix of that. So after about 20 minutes of high energy stuff, I used that, which seamlessly kicked it down into the 90s.
90s, I was about to say.
She had Work It and a few other hip hop songs. That was a smooth transition to that. But then I built the tail end of that set back up because I ended with Stacy's mom.
Wait, so this is posted now? This is up now?
This is up now. It's a 28-minute set that I'm damn freaking proud of.
Right, proud of it.
And I've also got my post dinner and then my last 50 minutes recorded. So I'll release those in the next couple of weeks from that wedding.
Dude, that's going to be my morning mix to listen to tomorrow.
Good. Yeah, enjoy that. And I just felt like I was so in the moment. But I also felt driving home, this goes back to my attendance at DJ Collective. And I know Lander listens to this podcast a lot, so I hope he hears this. Has a lot to do with his seminar and the conversations I've had with him, and also Scooter's seminar. And also the two of them inspired me to sign up for Direct Music Service, DMS, which I'm now using a lot of their mixes, some of their transition mixes and things like that. And so all those factors kind of came into play. If I hadn't gone to DJ Collective, that wedding Saturday night would not have been as awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I will say that definitively, that my 3 days out in Arizona made every event that I've done since then better. But the reason why I felt like Saturday night was probably my best performance ever after 31 years in this business has a lot to do with my attendance at DJ Collective.
Damn.
And big shout out to Lander. I think he shared some invaluable stuff.
Dude, awesome. That's so great to hear, man. Same here. You know, whether it was him or other DJs I heard play there or just conversations I had, I felt these last few gigs were better, man.
And you know, part of it's aspirational too. When you sit and watch somebody like Lander and the other guys that played at the Tuesday night pool party, you go, I got to step up my game. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the reason why I run faster at a race than I do when I'm training is I'm surrounded by people who are running faster than me. That makes you know, when I run a 5K, a race 5K, I run it faster than I ever did in training because I'm motivated.
And Mike, wouldn't you say this? I mean, weren't you, and I may be speaking out of turn, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, you were late to the beat mixing party. I mean, later in life. Like, I mean, you've been a DJ a long time.
Oh, I see. Yes. I
thought I said that to somebody.
There are seminars out there of me 10 years ago saying, I'll take.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know if I ever said it doesn't matter, but I know the point I used to make was, I'll take a great MC who's a poor mixer over a great mixer who's a poor MC any day. And I think I would still make that argument, but not as definitively as I used to. I think part of it is my philosophy has changed, but part of it also is that the clients have changed. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know the clients cared that much about beat mixing. Now they really do, or a good percentage of them do. I never, when I make demos of my DJs, I never used to put transitions in. But now if I've got a smooth transition on video, I not only put it in, but I stamp it with text saying, you know, Dominic Sestito in the mix. So that watching this video is now aware, this is Dominic mixing.
It's not a pre-made thing.
Exactly. So it's a change in philosophy for me. And yes, I definitely admit it, but I think it's also going with the trends
100%
of the industry.
Always adapting, always changing. Even the guys have been in a long time, guys. So
even the legends.
Even the legends. Oh man. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. Mike, anything else to add?
No, I think that's it. I think this is a good one. I'm glad I got some feedback from you.
Yes.
Record these from now on.
Yes, I will.
Paper is one thing, but we all want to hear. We want to hear amazing mixing.
The mastery. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.